Hi guys, in this video we will be looking how to integrate the large language model in reactjs using a Ollama. So this is the application we are going to build. If you enter some prompt over here, you will get the response just like how we are getting the response in the Chatgpt. We are also adding the loader over here. Once we get the response, this loader will disable and we will be able to see the answer. Yeah, okay. Now let's start building the application. Firstly, you come to this Ollama official website. You have to download this Ollama extension. Since I'm using the Windows, I'm going for this Windows version. Once you have done this, you will be able to see the extension in your downloads folder. You can just click on this and the extension will be downloaded. And once that is downloaded, you can open the command prompt or the terminal if you are using any other OS and just type Ollama. It will give you the list of commands, Ollama commands. Now, firstly, you need to install a model. You can integrate various models using this Ollama, like a Llama, which is a meta-based language model. Now, I'm just going to install a model known as Gamma. Since it's of less size, I'm going for it. Llama comes with 4 GB, whereas Gamma comes with only 1 GB. So I'm going for that version. I have already pulled that. To pull the image, you have to use a command Ollama pull and then gamma and 2b. This is the tag to install. Since I have already done it, it's already present in my machine. I will just use the list command. Now we can see that I already downloaded it about an hour ago, and the size of 1.7 GB. And to list the running model, you have to use a ps command. Okay, now this is already running. Now let's see how to use it in a reactjs application. Now I will just create one. I will just create a one component, React component. I will name it as LLM LLM.js. I will just export LLM.js. This will be the name of my React component. I have already installed the Access package for integrating it with my API. I forgot to mention that after you started pulling that language model, it's running and it will be running on a default port number 11,000 something like that. I will just check it in the official documentation once, and I will be just importing the Axios from Axios, and I will just return a JSON. I will also import a use state from the app. Let's name this as question, set question, use state, and this is going to be string. Now let me just import input type of text. Now I will just inject this LLM from them. I will just grab this form inside of form component. Sorry, form element, not the form component. I will just use a button type of submit. This is just going to be generic. Let's add a placeholder. Okay, I'll just do on submit a handler, and just create that handler here on submit. There is a typo here. Now I will just take this event and I will just prevent the default behavior of the browser so that it will not be refreshed. Our application will not be refreshed once we press the submit button. Okay. Now if we look at the application, we should be able to see that. Maybe I'm not in the okay. Stop. Okay. You can see that already styled and generate button heads and so it's visible like that. Now let's have some loading state as well. Set loading in state. Make sure the loading of the false. Okay. Now I will just capture this event using a on change handler. This will take in a fallback method. And I will just set this state same event of add it value. Okay. So for support, and I will just bind this value to the first state. Okay. Now I will just instead language large language model is running on my local host. I will be using http/localhost, and it is running on the port number I think 11434. That's the default port, which is Ollama is exposing. And this URL you can find it in the documentation itself. Okay. And then on submitting, we are preventing this thing. Since it's an asynchronous, let's make it an async content. And let's put a try catch. Okay. And it's going to take a payload. And in the payload, we need to enter what model we are using. Since I'm using MR2B, this is the model you are pulling in the Ollama in your terminal. So we have to mention this model. And then it's going to take the prompt. What is the prompt text you are sending? That is going to be question. Okay. Question. And it also takes in a streaming. What streaming does is, if you look at the Chatgpt, you will not get the response right in a one go. So it will be running in a form of streams, like an animation kind of thing. So that is the stream. I'm just going to keep this as false for now, since I don't want to complicate the things right now. And I'm just going to await it. And I'm going to use a HTTP post method. and I'm just going to pass this URL and the payload to it. And let's see what we are getting the response. If I get some error, I'm also going to do a console log of error. Let's open the console and then okay. Now let me enter what is 2 plus 2. You can see that something has happened, something bad has happened. Okay, I have mentioned this as given time, but it is wrong. It's going to be given default. This kind of thing happens in the real time. So please bear with me. You can see that it's taking some time because my laptop is not so good in running the LLM, and so you have to go for a good processor while running the LLM. And this is still in the pending state. Once it's converted to the 200 status code, you can see that it's written in, this is a prompt we are sending, and we will be getting the response like this. So we will be getting the response here. So since I have already done the consoling of that response, so I have to bind this inside of data.response, right? That's what we are going to do. And also since we are using the loading state, we are getting this state as 200, right? So what I'm going to do is initially I'm going to do, if I click on this generate button, I'm just going to show a loader here. And once we get this response status as 200, I'm just going to populate this response to my state. Let's do it. So let me do one if condition set. If rest.status is equal to this string or a number, okay, this is number 200. Let's put this as result, set result, response dot data dot response, response dot data dot response. Okay, and also let's do some null check. If response dot data. You can also do an optional chaining. Instead of doing this thing, you can just pass it like this, optional chaining. That also works. Okay, firstly, I have to use something, one more step to populate the result. Set result, use state. Now this error will be gone. So initially, on pressing the generate button, let's keep the loader as true. Okay. On getting the error also, we have to turn this loader as false. Only on generating the response, we will be showing the loader. That's what I'm trying to convey. So let's do this. Like if it's loading, then we will be just showing response is loading, is generating. Let's keep it as generating. Okay. And if it's not loading, and if the response dot length, sorry, result dot length, not response, dot length is greater than or equal to 1 milliseconds, then let's show this thing. There, there, and let's show our response result. So what I did is If it's loading, then I will be showing responses generating. And if it's not loading, and also we get the result greater than 1, then we will be showing the result. Okay. Since we will be getting this result as greater than 1 once we get the response that will be populated. Now let's check whether it is working. This 2 plus 2. Response is generating. Let's check the network. Still, its response to generate. Okay. Now let's check what's the mistake we are doing. Okay. Yeah, this is a mistake. But we are not setting this set loading to false, right? That's a mistake. Because once we get the response, we have to toggle this loading state, so only this thing will be visible. The result will be visible. That's a mistake. Now let's refresh. What is 2 plus 2? Now this is still pending, so it's showing the generate. Now we got the answer. Okay, this is how you can integrate with the Ollama. And I will also be doing styling in the later part, but I will just push those styling changes in my repository, and I will also be posting that in my description. You can check it there. And one more thing, you can also use a library known as LangChain, but that LangChain will require an API key if you wanted to integrate with an OpenAI or with a Google language model. So that will cost you some money, but this Ollama is free. Maybe you can just test this Ollama if you wanted to learn about the language model. That's why I using Ollama. If you also needed to learn about this lang chain, you can post it in the comments. I will be doing in the later part. Thank you so much. Bye bye.